you know which side has won, because they might blow a horn or something. But I was just thinking, what a shame if you got killed after the horn had been blown. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake! It's like, I mean, it's very much like Life of Brian or something. But it's just kind of makes, when you think, oh, you get killed after the war. It's like, for fuck's sake! It's like, what's the bad luck in that? It's kind of, so I was thinking about, when you see them still fighting even though the whistle's blown, it's like, well, hang on, what are you doing? I mean, I always kind of find that kind of aspect. But I mean, just the sheer galloping pace of it. I had to sing about battle, so what else can you sing about?
Sure, right. It sort of fits the song.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Greg and I talked a lot about ending days, especially with the drum parts that Walteri is doing at the beginning, like the ghost notes, like the marching band snare almost that he's doing. What do you think about those drum parts?
I think it's fine. Greg's sort of, I know what he's got in his mind, and it's not quite what he had in mind, but it still sounds absolutely fine to me. So it's when was he moaning about the drum part?
Well, when he and I talked about it, I was like, I asked Walteri to do a bunch of different things, but then I listened back to the demo, and I would have had him do what was on the demo because it was a little bit more understated. Then when I talked to Walteri on Thursday, he said, oh, this is some of my favorite parts on this is not going to go in, obviously, but, Walteri was saying, this is some of my favorite stuff I've done on the album, and frankly, I think it's great. It's a great idea to do there because it adds a little bit of color there because it's really, Greg's riff is really simple there anyway.
You could hear the part that Greg did on the demo, and it's obviously a loop that he's dragged in there or something. I mean, you could hear that. And there's very little difference. I mean, it's minute. I mean, he's just overthinking it, I think, personally. But I mean, also you can't say to someone, I don't like the drums on this if they haven't heard the thing that he's referencing.
Sure.
Because all they know is the new version. So, and if the new version's fine, then that's fine. So, I personally think he's overthinking it a little bit. But anyway, I mean, and I've heard both versions, so.
The song's fine though. It's a very strong. It's one of the strongest songs on the album.
Yeah, no, the song's great. Yeah, he was sort of. I mean, Greg sort of changes his mind what he likes and what he doesn't know because he kind of blows hot and cold on different songs, depending on how much wine he's drank when he's listening to it. So he was kind of down on this one. When did you speak to Greg?
I spoke to him on this past Tuesday of last week.
Right, yeah, he was going through a down on ending days era. Yeah, he's probably over it now because he was emailing about it. So
he said he was emailing about because he wanted to switch a song off and put in one of the extra tracks, and then Andy Farrow said, if you do that, it's going to push the album back another 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with switching tracks either. I think the track listing's fine, but
me too.
I didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, weirdly enough, Here the Night was actually, it still is one of my favourite songs from the session. But I would have taken, from the track list, and I would have rather used Here the Night than Raven Gas, personally.
Oh, the last song,
Yeah, I prefer it. Just my taste, but he wasn't that big on it. He didn't really like it at the time. I mean, now he seems to like it, so I don't know. It's like, hindsight. The power of hindsight.
It will be like Shrines from the last album, right? I mean, everyone, the consensus was Shrines. It was a great song, but you really couldn't put it anywhere because you needed a song in there to break the flow up, and so that's what happened.
I mean, Ending Days is Steve's favourite song, actually.
Yeah, that's what Greg said too. Yeah.
Steve doesn't really have massive, opinions on things. But he made a point of saying he really likes his song a few times. So, and when he does say things, they're usually quite profound. So, I take that as a positive. So, but I mean, I really like this song. It's the drum thing is really, it's just his thing. I mean,
yeah.
But I remember when we were doing it, it was almost, it's just the kind of how it's played. It's kind of like, because on the original, it's kind of like a splashy. It sounds like a splashy sort of sound. It's more like using brushes on a snare drum kind of thing. And I suggested doing that, but he still used the stick, and it just doesn't have the subtlety as like maybe brushes would have.
Sure.
So this was kind of going backwards and forwards for a couple of days during the recording session. Very interesting to everyone concerned.
Yes.
Anyway.
I love your chorus though. It's one of the strongest choruses on the album too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all clean. Yeah, clean. It's all clean as well, which again is very, it reminds me of something we would have done quite a bit of time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this song because it's a sad song. You know, it's not a